Running like an hour behind today, Gamer Nation, so we're doing this in one take. So if there's any flooper... For Rennerbuy's third game in a row, we'll be looking at Lionhead's Fable 3. And I'm gonna get this out there right now. If you actually hadn't told me the number in advance, I would have actually thought this was Fable 2. Because, well, they actually kind of removed some content from Fable 2 when they made Fable 3. I'm probably just being a little hurt because they took away my favorite spell, time manipulation. I love teleporting around with that time manipulation. But sadly, you can no longer do that. It's a potion now. They did away with menus, which sounds like a bad thing if you're an RPGer, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. As opposed to a pause screen, when you hit the start button, you're teleported to your hero's sanctuary, where you have access to a clothing room, an armory, and your own personal butler with some great voice acting. Which, that really helped make this game for me. The voice acting is spot on. Lionhead has gotten really good at finding some great voice actors, and you see this in Fable 3. So, the game, I feel like, isn't as good as Fable 2, but hey, if it's long enough, I'm gonna give it a buy. So, let's take a look at the timeline. Same as every other episode, the colors are red is the game, white is sleep, blue is school, and black is work. Let's take a look at the first day. I only played for about an hour and 30 minutes on this first day, but when we hop on over to the second day, you'll notice I have a 3-hour 45-minute chunk and 4 hours and 30 minutes total on this day. It's addicting when you can sit down and play it for that long. The next day is the same, with 4 hours and 45 minutes. And day 4, I beat it at 14 hours and 45 minutes. A relatively short game if you have the time to drop into it. On the last day, didn't really do much, so you don't need to know what I was doing on that day. You weirdo. Alright, so it wasn't long enough, so let's just get the verdict out there right now. It's a rent. But, on an interesting note, Fable 3 is actually a funner game if you rent it. In the latter half of the game, you become the King of Albion, and you're faced to make some moral decisions. And these moral decisions basically boil down to having enough money, which... not a very good gameplay element if you have the game for as long as you want. You can just sort of take your time, earn as much money as possible, and then you don't have to face these moral decisions. Whereas with me, because I had a time limit because of the rent, I had to look these moral decisions right in the face and sort of deal with them. It made the game a lot more intriguing. It was frustrating, but overall it improved the experience because I had a time limit on this game. So, I definitely recommend that you drop the money to go and rent this as soon as your local stores have it, because I guarantee it's going to be a hot item. Until then, later gamers. Mm. Mm. Mm.